Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving holiday, and I'm back here with you all for a week not a weekend review, but just a recap at the end of the week here on a Sunday. So I'm going to go over a series I started last weekend, I believe, last Saturday, about TSLY, and this is going to be, I'm going to try to do this for all the YieldMax funds that have been paying dividends. And the next one we're going to look at is OARK, and it's going to be what our total return would be in 5 different scenarios if we were to have put $10,000 into OARK and reinvested all the dividends into it. So let's go into the spreadsheet right now, and I will show you all the results. And it was a lot easier the second time around because I kind of already built the template out to begin with. So all I had to do was plug in the numbers for OARK. So this should go for about 10 minutes or so, and I'll read any comments towards the end. So definitely comment away. Okay, let me make sure the share is working here. And okay, there we go. All right, so this is OARK. This is if you had bought in November 2022, January, April, July, October, and then the low point. So to start off with, the 52-week high in OARK was 21.26. The 52-week low was 11.61. The difference between that is $9.65. Now the net amount, which is going to be, and I like this because all these calculations were pretty much the same, because so H3 minus B32, which is the cumulative dividend, which is $5.92 that it's paid year to date, because it didn't start paying dividends until January. So, okay, no comments yet. I can actually look here. All right, so here's how we would have done. If we bought in November, we would have had 500 shares at a price of $20.02. January, we would have gotten 737 shares at a price of $17.76. April, $15.63 would have netted us 754 shares. July, $16.20 would have netted us 593 shares. October would have netted us 843 shares. Now, this example is by no means any sort of advice or any incentive to buy in thinking that, oh, wow, this may work because it's dropping, I should buy it. No, by no means. We're just using this for educational purposes. I'm not even in this fund. Like I said, I'm only in TSLY. So January, the dividend we got was about 75 cents. So that would have paid us on 500 shares, $372. Our shares would have increased to 525. And then, unfortunately, though, we would have actually been down in total about 24 and a little more than 24%, $75.94. Then we got $1.09 in February, which would have paid us $572. Our share total would be up to 558. And you all remember from the first video in the series, which I'll try to remember to link to, how the math works. So moral of the story, by the end of this example, our total return doesn't actually become positive until in June, when we started seeing the fund come back up a little bit. So we got hammered, then the fund came back up to like 1620, then it's dropped back down since. Obviously, it hit a 52-week low. But at one point, we were up 15% in total return in our November example, which was the highest point, and then August and September. And unfortunately, because of the drop in the fund, we end up down in total return 20% in OARK. Now, out of the 5 examples, there's only 2 scenarios where we're actually positive. And unfortunately, only one is a decently positive amount, 18% to be exact. That's if you bought at the beginning of the year, you would be up in total 17.82%. How do I do that? Again, 10,000, easy math. 1782, percentage-wise, 17.82. Easy, right? So, but in the other scenario here, we would only be up 0.25%. So you might as well just put it into a savings account to have a better return if you were in April. The other 2 scenarios, you're getting hammered pretty good, actually. You're down from 10,000 to 94.41 here. You would be down almost 26, almost 27% here. And this scenario is taking it as though you bought in October, which was very close to a 52-week low. You would have a lot of shares. So if you were to get a dollar dividend again, you would have $840. So it would accelerate a potential gain if the dividend got better and if the fund started recovering. But this is for OARK. Again, the same analysis I did for TSLY. But in this one, so if we look under the covers here a little bit, in the summer months, we were actually doing better in these funds. We would have been up in scenario 2 and 3. We would have been up actually almost 56% and then 35% here. And we would have been up in scenario 1 also, which is really impressive because remember, you were almost buying in at a high point. So one comment, look at that. And then we started, so July, we peaked out, we would have been up 70% in scenario 2, 48% in scenario 3, 15% in scenario 1. By August, we would have been positive in all but one of them here. And there were only 4 at this time because the 5th one started in October. And as we add more months, by January, I'll add another scenario to this. So August, we were there. By September, by August, we were still up slightly here. We were up 51% still. We were almost 33% here. And then by September, we were still up here. Similar, very similar here. Not much fluctuation, but by October, yeah, we got hammered here. And by the end of November, I'll add to this and I'll update this periodically. But that is the analysis for OARK. So it's not totally A-OK in all the scenarios. We've got 70, or sorry, I wish we had 70, but we've got 17 of you watching. Oops, I'm on my phone here. I tried to find a good spot to film here where I am, but the phone's trying to fall over on me. So, yeah, we've got 17 of you on, 1 comment. I figured you all had probably missed me after like 3 days or so of not posting a live. Now, I did post on Thanksgiving morning. I did actually post audiobook part 2. So I am going to try to get parts 3 and 4 of those out pretty soon. Anyway, I hope this was helpful as far as OARK. Just really wanted to have a quick one here with you all. So that's the analysis there. I'm going to do more videos on JEPQ and the other two, or I'm sorry, JEPY and QQQY. I was drawing a blank there for a second. Anyway, so like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for tuning in. And let me know in the comments what you think. I've got a lot of comments to respond to on other videos, actually. And check out that audiobook if you haven't already. Stay tuned for the next video. We are going to have some interesting podcast guests coming up too, maybe Tuesday. So stay tuned for that on the Brewing Great Returns podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you all again. Take care and have a great evening. And we will see you all very soon.